Okay, everyone, we're going to make some French bread today. We're going to make a couple of breadsticks and maybe a little small roll. Started off with 1 cup of all-purpose self-rising flour. I guess you can use any kind of flour you want to, really, wheat, whatever you want. And I've got me some dry yeast. Well, 1 cup of the flour and 1/2 cup of water, warm water, and you want it about warm enough to as baby's milk, or what you would bathe the baby with. So we're putting this in the water. You don't want it too hot, because if it's too hot, the water's too hot, it can kill the yeast. So you want it about 110 to 120 degrees. But if you get to the touch and you give it to a baby to drink if it was milk, or you would put the baby in the bath water at that temperature, it's okay. What we're doing, we're checking out the yeast to make sure it's okay. I've got a teaspoon of sugar in here. What the sugar is going to do, the yeast is going to eat the sugar. We're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. It's going to get cloudy. You're going to see the yeast start to eat stuff. Okay, I'm going to let that go for a minute. I'm going to put the top on my yeast. And you might notice, what's all of this stuff? Well, this time I put a little bit of seasoning in my flour. I've got 5 peppers that I ground in the pepper mill. I've got 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt. I've got about a quarter of a teaspoon of parsley, about a quarter of a teaspoon of chives, about a quarter of a teaspoon of basil. And basically we're going to mix all of this up. And after we mix this up, we're waiting on the yeast. We're going to pour the yeast in here. And what's going to happen, this whole process is going to take about 4 hours. So you need patience. So the first part, I don't know, take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes really. We're going to mix the yeast up in the flour. Then we're going to pour the flour in a little plastic container. I bought some popcorn at Woolworths. Target, a long time ago, a couple of years, but I like the container, and it's got a top on it. And one good thing about this, you can save money. It seals in. It's kind of almost airtight, really. Keeps the gases and everything. Helps it to. It's going to help the yeast. It's going to help everything to proof pretty well. So also, you're not using. You can use plastic on a bigger bowl. Of course, if I was going to make feed a lot of people, I would have a much bigger bowl. So remember, 1/2 cup of warm water. You can already see the yeast is doing this thing down there. And what it is, the yeast is eating the sugar. It's actually it's life. So the yeast is alive. Hey, it's alive, everyone. It is. The yeast is alive. And you can see it already, what it's doing, getting cloudy. I checked this stuff already. Once you do it and you know your yeast is working, you don't have to wait. I'm just showing you because this may be your first time. I hope people try this. So basically what's happening, we're just checking. I know that you already know the yeast works. I already did the test, but it's going to get a lot more cloudy. So anyway, you get an idea. And you see movement. And you see things happening. It's alive. Okay, so that's going to be enough for me. I just want to show you what you want to be looking for to make sure your yeast is working. You look like little mountains on the moon. Now what we're going to do now, I'm going to shake this up a little bit. We're going to pour, oh look at that. Really see it really good now. So we're going to pour this into the flour. I don't have a cameraman, that's me. So you can see that really good now since it's in the flour how it's, working out. So you see it? So that's really good. So I'm going to put this down now. I'm just going to mix all of this flour up with this. Then we're going to pour it in that little plastic container I told you about. And then after that, we're going to wait for 2 hours. Okay, we're going to be right back. Okay, what I did first, I used this little thing and I sprayed some oil in here. So basically going to keep it from sticking. And I don't want to skip a step. Okay, I've got my my flour and everything all in my little plastic container. We're going to let this thing rise now. We're going to wait for 2 hours. Okay, my dough has more than doubled. It's been 2 hours. And what we're going to do now, we're going to take it out of the container, and we're just going to see, that's why I put the oil in there. It could just roll right out. Wait, there it is. Okay, you don't have to put the seasonings that I put in there. I'll just put those herbs in there because that's what I wanted. But all you really need is the salt, the sugar, and the yeast, and the flour. So just to let you know, this is just something I wanted to put those extra herbs in it. And also the pepper that I put in it. So basically, what we're going to do, it's a little sticky to the touch, but not bad. The thing is, we're going to knead this now for 10 minutes. One thing that we're doing, we're giving the flour some heat, and we're incorporating and mixing these things. Okay, and we're kneading it. And you got to talk to you, though. I need you, though. I need you, though. I need you, though. So basically, that's what we're doing. We're getting the glutens out. Even right now, it felt a little bit wet. Yeah, just a little bit of flour in there, but it's really good. We're going to work and get those glutens going and all of that stuff. And hey, making this is only one cup of flour. But hey, we'll be back in about 10 minutes after I knead this. I need you, though. I need you, though. Okay, I kneaded the dough for 10 minutes. I need you, though. I need you, though. I need you, though. So basically, once you get it all kneaded and everything, you feel when it's ready. And got all the gluten going and stuff. Now, got it in a little round ball. Going to put it back in the same plastic container. We're going to let it go for 1 hour. And then after that, we're going to shape our bread. And then we're going to wait a half hour after we shake it for it to rise again. So we have 3 rises. This will be the second rising. All right, it's been an hour, and the dough, as you can see, has doubled in size. So we're going to roll this out again, last time, and it's going to rise one more time, but not in the little container this time. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, see that? Yeah. I'm going to cut this in half. And we're going to work with it. All right. Put this down, we're going to shape it. And then we're going to bake it. Okay, I'm just rolling the dough. Not really putting a whole lot of pressure on it. Just rolling it, shaping it. And then this is only half of a French bread roll. We're going to do something to the other side. That's all we're doing. And then once we get the thing all nice and shaped and everything, we're going to let it rest. Okay, I sprayed a little oil in the pan that it's going to bake in. We're going to put this in the pan and we're going to let this rise again. And the other side, we're going to make a little roll, and I'm going to make a couple of breadsticks. Okay, with this one, as you can see, I made a small little rectangle. Here's what we're going to do with that. I'm just going to roll it. You see that? Just going to roll it. Okay, and that's it. Another one. Got a little seam on the bottom. So what we're going to do, we're going to pinch that seam. There we go. Going to pinch that seam. Now we're just going to put that on the bottom, shape it up a little bit, and roll it. That's going to be a small little bread roll right there. We'll put that right there. That's going to rise as well. I'm going to make another one. As you can see here, I rolled one into a little ball. That's going to be a nice little biscuit. Now for my breadsticks, I'm just going to roll this and roll it and roll it out. You see that? So I'm going to do that and just keep rolling it out. Then I'm going to give it a little twist. I'm going to make 2 breadsticks. Now there you have it. A little French bread roll. And I got another little small roll right next to it. And a little biscuit and 2 breadsticks. And when I was trying to twist the breadsticks, they said, look, we're straight. We don't want to be twisted. So I said, okay, that's good. So, you know, they're not going to be twisted. They say they're straight. So, you know, we like that. So this is all from 1 cup of flour and a half a cup of water, everybody. You know, and now I can see this bread is rising already. I'm not going to play around shaping it a whole lot. You know, just going to let it do its thing. We're going to let this sit for 1 hour, but about half hour. And it's going to rise a little bit. But that's 1 cup of flour. You know, and the thing is, I'm just one person. I don't want a whole bunch of stuff. What I like is to be able to make a little bread and don't have a bunch of whole big loaves hanging around and stuff. I don't want to buy 6 big old rolls and stuff. I just want what I need for a day or 2, then I'll make some more. Also, it's fresh and it's really cheap. I know I would pay over $5 or $6 just for this. I don't know. I probably would. Probably pay $3 for 1 roll, or $1 for, I don't know, at least $5 for this. I'm just saying, I like the convenience of not having to go to the store. I like that it's fresh. And also, I put a couple of little herbs in there that I want to put in there. So, you know, the thing is the love of cooking and expanding my knowledge and everything. So this is all from 1 cup of flour. So we're gonna let this bread do what it needs to do. We're gonna cover it with the cloth, and then we're gonna bake this thing. Okay, the bread is risen again. It's the last time. So again, this is 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and I put some herbs and other things in there. But I sprayed my tray with a little oil, and I've got my breadsticks. You know, everything is kind of, what do you call it? Risen. Okay, and the secret to browning, we're going to put some water underneath the pan, and it's going to create a little steam. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to brush the bread with water, and that's going to also help it dry. All right, here we go. Got a little water here, and now I've got my bread. I know this might seem, wow, this is weird, but you know, the first one that I did, I used the egg, you know, and it didn't really brown like this water does. And the water in the steam is a secret I learned from one of the chefs that has a really great bakery. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll try this, and it works better than an egg, and you save an egg. You know, use a whole egg when you wash this thing. I'm doing even the breadsticks. You know, I know it looks a little weird, but I'm telling you it works. With my last one, this is my 4th time doing this now. You know, the main reason I'm doing it because I'm a perfectionist, and I want to practice. And so that's what it's all about. So I'm going to preheat this oven. I'm going to preheat it to 190 Celsius, that's 375 Fahrenheit. I'm going to preheat the oven, put the water in there first, and let that go for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to put this tray of bread in. When I was preheating this oven with just a little thing of water, just the water in there, it looked like there was a fire and smoke and everything. All it was that steam was bouncing around and everything. So I knew it was hot enough to put the bread in. So I put the pan in on top, and it kind of settled down a little bit. But the bread is looking pretty good, you know, so I'm looking forward to it coming out. It's been 12 minutes. I haven't touched anything. Look how brown they are. Isn't that amazing? Just water. Folks, you know, who make just regular biscuits, try to just put a dab of water on it and stick some water underneath your pan and everything. It's going to help your biscuits really brown. It's a really nice trick. All right. There you have it. It's been about 12 minutes. And you just want to have a look, and just, your oven might be a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. I want to try one of these breadsticks and just taste that. Taste a little piece and see how it goes. Where's this little taste? I can taste those olives in there. They're pretty good. I've got some dip. I'm going to get my dip out and do this. I could have made them a little bit thinner, but hey, that's all right. I like it. It's really tasty. Very, very tasty by itself. With that dip, that'll really set it off. So I could have rolled them a little bit thinner. I'll know next time. But you know, I'm very happy. The rest of the bread is going to have the same flavor, and it's done. So all I got is one thing to say. Good to be the king. I've got some butter on those biscuits. Good to be the king.